The hero is shocked. He is back in time before the university entrance exams. In the class, everyone is preparing for the exam, which will take place in 25 days. He is horrified by what is happening. A guy in a panic screams that he only wants to be reborn after entering college. At this time, a portal opens from which horrible monsters appear. It becomes clear that this is an invasion from another world, which happens from time to time. Powerful monsters threaten human civilization. In response, humans have developed a beast gene system. By injecting beast genes, they awaken monster power and gain genetic talents. These warriors are humanity's only hope. As a result, warriors have become highly respected and privileged. The entire world has entered an era where combat power decides everything. A warrior fights a huge, ferocious monster using a sword and some supernatural energetic power. Another warrior stands over the defeated enemy. The process of moving between worlds and embedding memories in Yi Haye is shown. Then Yi Haye, apparently a high school student, suffers from a nightmare while holding his head. In class, 2 students mock him, calling him a loser and doubting his ability to pass the college entrance exam. The girl wryly advises the guy to drop out of school and become a laborer. The boy reflects that the previous owner of this body was not very popular. He recalls that he had a tragedy with his parents, because of which he abandoned his studies and training. A classmate accuses him of looking at her. The guy justifies that he was just thinking about it, and is upset about the inheritance he inherited, a bad reputation. The teacher announces the start of the genetic modification serum injections and encourages the students to believe in themselves, reminding them of the 3 years of preparation. He also addresses those who were not serious about their studies. Guy is surprised but determined to right the wrongs of his predecessor. He's ready to take responsibility. The action takes place in the gene injection room of a high school. A group of students are discussing what abilities he can get. Someone jokes about the buttock beast. Students are presented with a serum to awaken the genes of magical beasts. After the injection, they will receive a random gene and awaken its power. The stronger the physique, the more powerful the gene. The lecturer encourages the students to remain calm when the energy surges. The names of the first students are called, and they are injected. A group of people reacted strangely to the injection. Yi Hai injects himself, determined. The teacher is surprised that he has no reaction. The people around him laugh at his lack of change. A girl taunts a guy who doesn't seem to have passed the test. The guy is annoyed and remembers that she was the instigator of the bullying. Suddenly he feels something strange. A system message appears saying that he has received the infinite monster template. The girl continues to bully, but Yi Hai transforms, radiating energy. In a hoarse voice, he orders her and her companions to leave before it's too late. They are surprised and don't realize what's going on. The guy looks threatening. A powerful release of energy stunned the people present. Yi Hai awakened something incredible. The girl falls down, sickened by the powerful aura. The others also felt its effects and felt uncomfortable. The girl is surprised, violet energy hovering around her. The guy is puzzled, blue crystals glowing around him. He is thinking about whether there is someone stronger than him. He is. Enveloped in blue energy, he ponders about the monster template he received and the golden finger from the system. The other disciples are alarmed, remembering He, who they thought was a loser. They are amazed at how the latter had thrown everyone around him off with his aura, with his strength. He knocked out Wang Xing. The girl awakened a second-level magical beast, a fiery scorpion with claws of flame. He apologizes for causing a commotion during his awakening and complains that he wasn't listened to. They announce that all awakened third-year students must go to the testing building to determine the type of magical beast gene awakened and their martial arts level. A gene breakthrough detection device is shown that tests the magical beast gene and martial arts level. They announce the results of the awakening of the pedigrees. One student has awakened the bloodline of a speed beetle, level 3, and is now the first in the class. Another, the best student, has awakened an ice demon dragon bloodline, also level 3, and he is considered the future champion of the city. A girl has awakened an abyss sparrow bloodline, rare and level 4, the best in the entire province. Creatures with such bloodlines could wipe out almost the entire city. He pensively ponders why everyone has awakened 3rd or 4th level bloodlines, but he has an A-grade bloodline. Soon after, the next Yi disciple is announced. Yi displays incredible strength and a powerful aura, astonishing those around him. The crowd is ecstatic, admiring his strength and bloodline that allowed him to reach such a level after awakening. They believe that he will become very influential and want to get close to him. Number 1 is experiencing a huge breakthrough. His name is Yi. The screen displays information about a certain Yi He, 7th grade, level 3 martial apprentice. The bloodline of the beast is unknown. The people around him laugh and mock Yi He, thinking he is a weakling. They are sure that even a junior high school student could defeat him and doubt that he even has a bloodline. They consider all of Yi Hai's previous accomplishments to be nothing more than nothing. Yi Hai himself walks away, disappointed and depressed. He realizes that the pattern has not been detected. Something activated the Infinite Monster Template tooltip. A guide to improving this template has appeared, completing quests or increasing reputation. You can get additional monster templates in the same way. Number of attempts, 0. He hums thoughtfully, realizing that his template rank might be different from the others, and that means something. He realized that if he met the conditions, he could endlessly create monster templates. Excitedly, he imagined himself as the king of monsters. At school, a young man asks his teacher to allow him to take a leave of absence to prepare for the university entrance exams on his own. The teacher, sipping a drink, is skeptical of the idea and doubts that the student will actually study at home. Yi Hai, on the other hand, is determined to improve his knowledge, explaining that he is far behind in the program and needs intensive training to catch up with the others and have a chance of admission. The teacher convinces the student that he needs to go to college to become a warrior. He doubts Yi Hai's ability, believing his base is too weak for the exam, and advises him to prepare for the retake next year. Yi Hai vehemently objects, assuring him that he has awakened a powerful bloodline and will succeed with hard training. Looking into the student's blazing eyes, the teacher hesitates but agrees on the condition that the student will return to him next year for retraining. Soon we see the warrior training center. He walks and ponders the fact that he has some startup capital after his parents died and he got insurance. He thinks about how to increase his power, either to pump up as a warrior or to increase his compatibility with the Temora template. Yi Hai remembers that according to the data, compatibility with the monster template starts at 1 point, but Temora has 3. The young man realizes that Temora's template absorbed the genetic awakening serum and gained 2 additional compatibility points. A guy, content and determined, is thinking about buying a gene serum. He thinks it's a more effective way to improve his abilities than grueling workouts. Yi Hai hurries over and puts his student ID card against the turnstile, but suddenly his eyes go wide with surprise or shock. Everyone around him awakened his bloodline. After awakening Demora's Mad Flame template, he gained a unique sensory ability, the life magnetic field. He senses the life signals emitted by other beings. Yi senses the chi and blood of the warriors, blazing within them like a furnace, and the beastly roar of their bloodlines. He can barely contain his thirst for battle. After all, Mad Demora is the king of beasts in their world, destined to conquer all life on the planet. But for now, he is a newcomer and can only suppress Demora's battle bloodline. When he becomes stronger, he will show the world what it means to be the king of beasts. Suddenly, he is called out by a girl. He looks at the girl awkwardly and is reprimanded. Yi Hai apologizes. The girl calms him down, explaining that he probably just awakened his monster gene. The guy explains that he's looking for a genetic cure at the Warrior Center, but got lost. The girl is surprised that he's already using the cure at such an early stage. The guy asks if this is normal. The girl explains that the genetic medicine is expensive and can be addictive, reducing its effectiveness. She advises waiting until the bloodline is at its limit. The boy asks about the price of the potion. The girl replies that only an initial potion for 400,000 will do for him. The guy is shocked by the price and asks about a discount. She offers him her card for a discount. The young man thanks her and says goodbye. He then spends a huge amount of money at the Warrior Hospital and the gun store. Guy is experiencing a powerful burst of energy, seemingly related to the Mad Flame Demola Beast template. His compatibility with this template increases. He is pleased with the sudden jump in his characteristics, feeling empowered. However, he notices that with each use of the gene potion, the effect becomes less pronounced. He realizes that further amplification will require more effort. The young man is impressed with the progress he has made, comparing it to the years of training of others, and anticipates activating the power of his Daimel bloodline. A guy, confident in his abilities, thinks he can be the best on the exam. He activates some cheat mode and goes to a secret dimension. There are rifts of different levels of danger, from S to E, where monsters live. The higher the rank, the stronger the monsters. The creatures from S-class rifts are out of human control and pose a huge threat to the real world. A young man with a sword behind his back walks down a deserted street. He ponders that this secret zone has fewer people than he expected, probably, because it was explored long ago and all the treasures have already been taken away, leaving only weak beasts for training newcomers. The young man walks up to the front desk and says he has booked a ticket to secret area number 3. The staff member gives him the ticket and asks him to sign a waiver of liability in case of death. Looking at the shimmering portal, the young man realizes that the rift to the secret zone is in front of him. With a determined expression and burning eyes, he jumps into the portal, declaring that this is the beginning of his journey to the title of King of the Beasts. Yi Hai is in some unusual place and marvels at what he sees, noting that it is much more impressive than in the textbooks. He then notices a creature that looks like a red rabbit with fangs that sneaks up on him. The creature turns out to be a rank 1-fang rabbit, and it attacks. Yi Hai prepares for battle. He suddenly grabs the rabbit by the ears and destroys it the next moment. Taking out the magic core, he assesses its value and reflects on his earnings. Yi Hai is pleased with its efficiency, comparing the income to that of ordinary people. Deciding that the cores of low-ranked beasts won't bring much money, he searches for a stronger opponent and meets a huge insect-like creature. The young man clutches the knife tightly with a predatory grin. The appearance of this monster is clearly unexpected to him. The action takes place in the secret realm of Ancheng, the Thermometer 3, Class E. A giant, toothy, plant-like creature attacks. Yi He with his sword fends off the attack. He recalls the information from the Monster Encyclopedia, realizing that the belly of the demon beetle is his weak spot. Suddenly, the monster attacks, creating a spinning attack. In that case, Yi He releases a powerful energy beam at his opponent. The monstrous insect fires projectiles from its stingers. The boy is surprised. He dodges the attack, clearly annoyed. Yi Hai complains about the cost of his suit. The young man realizes that he can't handle this insect at his current level of martial arts. He blames the original body he fell into for his poor academic training. In this case, the young man decides to cheat. The power awakens in the hero, enveloping him in a blue glow. He looks incredibly strong. His power grows. A monstrous maw with sharp teeth opens, ready to attack. But our hero is ready to deliver. The final blow, moving towards the monster. The hero destroys a monster that looks like a huge insect with a powerful blow. Apparently, he used some kind of transformation that greatly increased his power. Now back to normal, he feels the heat of a jet engine and tries to deal with the effects of the transformation. The hero's new sword is corroded by demon bug poison. He is hungry after his first monster hunt and didn't bring any food with him. Suddenly, he smells a pleasant aroma. It is the beetle's magical core, which also happens to be a green rank. The hero absorbs the nucleus. His compatibility with the demon emperor increases. He is furious that he spent a lot of money on a genetic potion that only gave him 1% compatibility, while a single magic crystal increased it by 0.3%. He decides that magic crystals are more profitable and goes hunting. The next day, he activates the field of life. After reaching 9% compatibility, he realizes that the white magic crystals no longer increase it. He has 20 white and 1 green magic crystal that he is going to sell. The girl is amazed that a simple schoolboy has collected so many magic crystals. Yi Hai ponders the rules requiring 1/10 of the loot to be given away, but is still happy with the sum of 200,000 credits. There are 9 days left before the college entrance exam. The group is preparing for a mission in the Ancheng class, D Secret Area Turf 4. They discuss the mission for the blood jade flower, confident of success since they already know the approximate location of the flower. One of the participants, Chen, is injured and won't be able to join. Because of this, there are only 5 people in the group, and they need 6 to enter the secret area. Captain Lin reassures the others by informing them that he has found a new fighter through an agency. This is a level 2 fighter, Lin He Yi. Hai confirms that he is a level 9 martial arts student under the alias Dad's Law. Mentally, he confesses that he bought fake IDs to join the team and enter the secret D-class area after spending a lot of money to do so. He doesn't really like his alias, but he's resigned to it, as a real name would violate copyright. His more experienced teammates warn him that with his level, he is not suited for this mission, but allow him to observe and learn. The main thing is to stay out of the way. He agrees. Yi Hai is pleased that the team has clarified responsibilities. Before the mission begins, the team sets out to find the blood jade vine flower. A group of people in a car are driving through the desert. They are searching for the jade blood flower, which, according to the tracker, is in an oasis up ahead and guarded by a monster. Yi Hai reflects on the fact that the previous search location was in a rainforest, and now they are in the desert. and concludes that the secret worlds are not connected to one particular world. Suddenly, they are attacked by Earth demonic rats. The captain orders Hood to deal with them. Hood accepts the order and goes into battle. Hood attacks with swords. Explosions on the ground are then shown. Yi-Hai watches the explosions. Hood confirms that the target has been destroyed. Yi-Hai realizes how throwing a dart fills his partner with combat energy, turning him into a bomb. Soon, the group disembarks from the car and sets off on foot. The group prepares to attack the monsters in the oasis. Yi-Hai asks why they are walking instead of driving. The leader explains that the noise of the engine might scare off the sensitive monsters. The captain assigns roles. Xiao Xia should throw a special grenade to lure the beast out. Xiao Wu and Hood should set traps. Old Liu provide covering fire. The leader of the group is going to go to the front of the group and orders Yi-He to just watch. The young man agrees to stay on the sidelines. The pheromone grenade explodes. An earth dragon appears. Someone warns the newcomer of the approaching monster. The man stands on the ground, sticking his swords into the ground. His hand clutches the hilt of his weapon. Soon the captain is attacked by a huge dragon. The dragon is defeated. People are running through the deserted area. One of them shouts, "Captain Lin!" Captain Lin urges to keep moving. Someone warns Captain Lin of danger. A giant clawed paw attacks him, but in the next second, Yi-Hai soars into the air. Yi-He defeats the magical beast with his crushing attack. The people around him are amazed by his strength, as he is only a beginner. They begin to praise his powerful strike, marveling at the crushing technique. The girl thanks the fighter for saving him and offers to become companions. Soon, someone pulls out a dragon heart, reporting to Captain Lin the destruction of the Earth Dragon. The group rejoices over the extracted Earth Dragon soul essence. Yi-He marvels at the value of the loot. Another explains its importance in improving something. Next, Captain Lin reflects on his recent difficult victory over the dragon. Suddenly, someone attacks Captain Lin with a knife. The people around him are horrified. Hood's attacker runs away, cynically stating his intentions. Soon, a large man, apparently influential, named Ho Peng appears. He removes his glasses, clearly ready for action. The group discusses a bald guy who is robbing others in the dungeons and targeting them. One of the group is poisoned. The captain accuses the other of betrayal, asking how the other knew of their whereabouts. Yi Shuai understands and says that Hood relayed the information through the dartboard. He taunts the newcomer, telling him to study for his exams instead of flirting with death. Yi-Hai confidently replies that he's going to be the best in the exams. Hood, infuriated by his words, attacks. Yi-Hai considers this behavior to be sheer insolence. The guy with the blue energy charge in his hand is going to deal with this group. Ho Peng seems impressed with the guy. He orders Hood to kill the young man. A hail of blades rains down on Yi-Hai, but the young man releases a powerful energy. Blast. Hu-Day disappears. The boy is left alone on the battlefield. Suddenly, Hu-Day attacks from above. Yi-He uses the Mountain Destroyer battle technique. He applies a new skill. The new attack literally pierces Hu-Day in the chest. The people around him are amazed and question whether this guy is really a martial arts beginner. Yi-He himself looks calm and confident as Hu-Day falls. Yi-Hai uses the gene technique and is asked what family he is from. He replies that he is from the Damonra clan. His opponent scoffs and says that the gene technique won't help overcome the difference in fighting strength. His opponent then uses the bloody activation of the Black Bear Terror Tyrant and the Peak Crusher battle technique. Yi-Hai observes this. The young man attacks the other's legs with an energy beam. The bald man screams in pain, grabbing his leg. The large muscular man tries to grab the young man, who realizes that his atomic breath couldn't even damage his opponent's ankle and is impressed by the strength of the second-level fighters. Ho Peng concentrates his energy by hitting the ground, but Yi-Hu renders behind him and attacks. His fist glows with blue energy. He prepares to deliver a crushing blow. This punch is accompanied by a bright flash of blue energy. Soon Ho Peng finds himself defeated on the ground. The team is amazed at the strength of this newcomer. The wounded man accuses the young man of using genetic engineering that releases a toxic gas and curses him, promising punishment. The young man clenches his fist, shrouded in a blue energy glow. His eyes are glowing, his face is tense, and he is clearly angry. He resents being cursed and demands an explanation from the bald man. Would you like a continuation of this story? Write the secret word, evolution, in the comments. That way I'll know you've seen it to the end. I also want your opinion. Should I continue such a dynamic story, or do you need more details? Write about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give me a like. Bye-bye.